Okay, yeah, I touched something on my desk, so I guess my microphone exploded.
Classic.
Yep, the classic. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. What about you?
I'm good, I'm good. So you said Fox versus Falco today. So talk to me. What's
Ye-
going on that front?
Yeah. So so I guess I'm having like a few thoughts. I feel like to some degree I understand what's happening and like what's going wrong.
Uh-huh.
Um, but like one aspect of this matchup that's like really frustrating me is I feel like when I'm playing someone who has like pretty good movement or they're like very elusive, I keep trying to make guesses. And maybe I'm just using the wrong moves, but I feel like I get punished so hard when I miss a guess and I'm not getting like I guess, these players are better than me, so their punish is going to be better anyways, so I'm not going to get the same reward. But
Let's
like
not
if I'm
let's
losing,
let's not
right,
let's not generalize to stuff like, they're better than
sure.
me or something like that. Cuz while that may be true, it's not a super useful like model to view these interactions from, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that's definitely fair. I guess like I'm thinking about scenarios where like let's say for example, um there's a Falco like doing like the dash in, dash out lasers, and I think I'm gonna catch them on a dash in with like something juicy. So I'll go for like a running up smash. I slightly whiff, and then and then I'm getting like run over right after.
So basically,
So like
you'll have something like this going on, right? So you have these two here, and he's doing like this, and then this kind of thing.
yeah, like the just being like ambiguous with what he wants to do, or I guess it's not even really ambiguous, but more like he's just kind of waiting.
Yeah. So is up smash the only way that we can punish this?
It's not. I could do like if I'm close enough, I could get a short hop nair. I could get um potentially running shine depending on the timing. I could get a full hop. So it's definitely not just up smash. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think I think what happens is like I guess what is happening is I need to find out like where in the Falco's movement is like when I need to make my decision, maybe, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Or maybe like we could also view our tool. We could also like figure out like how do we use our other tools like our movement. Like I'm failing these wavelands, but you can see the idea. You can see the idea here. It's like if I go forward,
Yes.
I can potentially move backwards, something like this.
Yeah, actually, that is something I noticed that like um
Mm-hmm.
when I'm struggling, I like start trying to be kind of tricky with my movement too, and like I'll do like the wave like full hop in waveland back. And it actually does catch a decent amount of people I feel like off guard.
Well, it makes sense
Um
because like you're like when
yeah.
Fox comes forward like this, we're not usually expecting him to like retreat. We're usually expecting like this
Yeah.
or this. Yeah, so I would say that like how like one of the luxuries of Fox is that he's like one of the better characters at going around the lasers. So I guess my question would be is are we using that effectively?
Probably not. I mean, I do think that like I do think that I get fairly locked down, to be honest, when like yeah, when it's just like a situation where the Falco's like lasering pretty quickly and um
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I think I just end up eating the stun and like trying to think about what my decision is, and then I'm like, as soon as I think I know what I want to do, I just get hit basically.
Okay. Well, I would say if they're shooting quickly, like one option that you have that's sometimes overlooked is just jumping over the laser,
Hmm.
like so. Because yeah, on low lasers you can just like jump over them. But like the other thing here is I would say is like even on this kind of like laser pattern where it's like a lot faster, don't underestimate your full hops like ability to just like kind of like go around them.
Yeah.
Because you also have like setups like like what I just did where it's like you jump over, jump over. And then, like, if the next laser is going to catch you, you can just, like, kind of raise your shield during the auto-cancel frames. And, like, it's not a terrible way to, like, look for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're about to get caught and you don't think there's anything that you can do about it at a middle-ish distance, I would say that, like, power shielding is not, like, the worst solution that you can come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Although, one thing I'd question is, like, have you tried power shielding as a solution before?
I feel like when I go for them, it's like 50-ish% consistency. So like I have, but it's not like always something that that I get the timing on.
You can just do a slightly so that's interesting to me because that suggests to me is like, could we just like standardize our out of shield timing a little bit by delaying it ever so slightly, and then we would just like be ready to act regardless of the laser timing. Because, like, here's what I'm thinking. So, like, we'll delete these and restore, save, cool. So then we just do record. Cool. So, like, this is, like... So, obviously, like, we can act out a shield right away, like... Which, like, if I act out a shield during, like, the actual, like, stun frames of, like, the laser, obviously that's not going to go my way. But, like, if I just delay my timing ever so slightly, then I'm able to, like, work with either of them. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just like...
Yeah, that makes sense. You either I mean, if you get the power shield, it's just giving a couple frames away, and if you don't get the power shield, you're still good.
Yeah, and you can even use the audio cue to, like, a little bit to, like... You can use, like, the audio cue to kind of, like, confirm things for you. Because, like, these ones I don't hear the power shield reflect noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one I did. Yeah. So something like this. So I would, like, I guess my question here would be is, there's a lot of ways that you can work around lasers. I'm not going to make it seem like lasers are easy to work around, because they're not.
Yeah.
But there's obviously solutions out there. Of these options, which ones, like, jump out at you as being the most... Like, do any of these jump out at you as being, like, more appealing, less appealing?
I think that I need to, or that rather not need to, but I think that the just using shield more does seem like it would be useful, to be honest. Like, even if I don't get the power shield, I can just still get close and act out of it. Yeah.
I mean, like, so, like, and that's the thing, like, lasers vary a lot in terms of their efficacy on shield by, like, I know you might have seen the fiction video, but, like, so if we actually, let's return to normal. We'll have this guy just shield for a bit and play back, and I'll take control of Falco here. So let's do some frame counting for a second. We'll do human, and I want shield stun. So let's do this. So that is 4 frames of hit lag. And 3 frames of shield stun. That's a long time. That's like +3. That's crazy. How is this character fair? Well, turns out he's not always quite this unfair. So let's have him. Let's remove control for a second. Okay, and hopefully, actually, because he. Well, no, because he will have lost his scaling. So 1 second. So we'll do that. Then we'll delete positions. Save here. Cool. So this is fine. So let's now like compare this to what happens if we have him do the other thing. So we'll just have him record shield for a bit. Cool. This should be fine. Playback, control. Now let's count. 3 and 2. So it is a difference. It is a pretty substantial difference if the laser is staled or not. Like that's a difference of 2 frames of like overall net stun. Because remember, the attacker doesn't. The attacker does not eat hit lag when we're dealing with projectiles. It's all on the opponent, which is why good projectiles, are so crazy in this game. Yeah. So I would say tanking a laser is like tanking a laser with crouch cancel or something is not and then using that as like your jumping off point for everything else you do with your shield is not a terrible idea, just to like standardize everything. As long
So basically, as long as you've taken a laser within the last, is it the last 9 moves?
Yep, last 9 moves.
Then it's 5 frames of hit lag, basically.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So that is
Okay.
that is a pretty substantial difference. It's also 1 frame fewer of stun because of like how because of how it goes from hit lag to hit stun. Like because of how the hit lag calculation works. Like basically hit lag is calculated hit lag uses a lot of flooring in its functions. So it like reduces down to like the closest frames. So 3 to 2.9 is actually very significant in that kind of calculation. Because a lot of it is like number over 3 floor it. So then like so the difference between 2.9 and 3 is actually extremely significant. So like that makes sense. Yeah. That's kind of like the math behind it. But like what you need to know is that if you have taken a laser in your last 9 moves, lasers are significantly less effective on shield.
Okay. I've definitely not played with that in mind. That is good to know.
Have you ever been hit by a laser on your shield and you felt like it was like heavier or it did more?
I definitely have, and I think this is probably why.
This is almost certainly why that is the case. So yeah, like this is huge. This is super, super, super huge.
Okay. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I think that there's been times where like, I don't know, like a Falcon just hit a combo on me, so laser's not been used in a while, and then I like think, okay, I'm gonna get in, and then I don't act out a shield properly. This is almost certainly why like I felt the timing was off.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if we've had any good like Falco Falco versus Fox. I know that Aklo played Magi at the recent at Full Bloom. We could take a look at that if that's something that you might want to like get into.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I would because I want to. I guess. I would really like to understand how like. I feel like a lot of the good Falco players tend to play like pretty like they hold their space until the Fox makes a mistake is kind of the read I get a lot of the time, and I'm not sure if that's entirely positive, like entirely true, but I guess like cracking the armor is sort of what I want to establish a framework for.
Yeah. So can you see my screen right now?
Let me. I don't. Oh yes, I can.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so let's take a look-see here. Because I think that, like, so what's interesting here is Aklo is not usually my first pick when it comes to Falco, but because he's a little bit passive, but I do think that the way there are good things that he does, like, the way so what he just did to establish his approach angle, like this, like, creating that angle to approach from, I think is really good, because if Magi is not ready, like, I think one important thing that we have to remember about, like, Falco versus Fox is the idea of, like, readiness as it relates to our movements, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by that is, how easy is it to up-tilt this Nair from, like, that jump that Aklo's doing? I mean, sorry, for that jump that Magi's doing. I feel like it's not super easy. Like you have to be like basically expecting Aklo to edge cancel his Nair, like his drill like that into that Nair.
Yeah, I think Aklo does something that I am trying to do a bit more, because like one thing that was pointed out to me is that my approach is like can be too obvious in this matchup, and so like he like I feel like he goes up to top plat and like tries to like kind of play footsies by like going up down until like finally he catches a timing where he can just come down.
Well, and like he does that here too. Like if you look at look at how he does this like full hop bear up tilt, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that kind of form is like that kind of form of like full hopping bearing around the Falco's approach or laser, and then like up tilting after, like anti-air up tilting after with good timing is like that is a very classic part of like how you can play this matchup. And I think that that's stuff that you already do, but like you see, how cognizant are you of like like I guess my question is like, do you think that you're like placing your full hops in the same way that he is, where he's like waiting for Magi to be like approaching, at a distance she can approach, or have the laser kind of like instructing him as to like when he has to do his full hop?
I don't think I'm doing it with around. I don't think I'm thinking about their like jump movement enough, like that they're going for laser enough. Even though I know that's like definitely a big part of the equation. Like that's when they're putting themselves off the ground. That's when they're not going to be able to like act immediately after. So
are you still playing without sound?
I do it a decent amount. I really shouldn't.
It's like really useful against Falco.
I know. Yeah. I guess that's one way I can think about laser, like about how to about how they're moving without necessarily like needing to like stare. Like I'm looking at them, but like it'll just register that they're lasering if I hear it more. I don't know.
Yeah, so to me, like, this is really, like, this is kind of, like, where, like, the magic happens on this back air up tilt. So, like, it's, if we use the work backward method that we've used, like, with your plays, and we just kind of, like, we kind of apply it here in a similar fashion. Should be set, cool. So let's just create, sorry, Magi, don't mean to do this, but we need to, like, we need a space for instructions, and... yeah, this has just happened to be where it falls. So we're going to have Aklo be red because he's player 1, and we'll have Magi be player 4. No, green for player 4. So I would say we actually start on Magi here because shine, shield, wave dash away. Shine, shield, wave dash away. Because that's kind of like what this starts from is a shielding position. So what happened here was we had Aklo in shield here, and Magi blinks it as such, and then backs off to underneath this side platform. So this would be step 1. And then, like, from here, what do we have happen next? So Aklo then holds shield, so hold shield. Hold shield. And then what she does is... she dash dances. DD. Short hop. Lasers. And then this is where we are right now. So
yeah.
then he full hop over. Bear. And then U-tilt. And like you can see how this structure would work out for him because it's just boom 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 boom. It's just boom boom boom. And like the end result is like the end result I think is the beauty of this situation because I don't think that this like the spacing that he lands at is really like the key here because how easy do you think this is for like Falco to punish with anything substantial? Like look at because the key here is the distance. I think it's like from here to about here. So what are we outside of what are we outside Falco the range of?
Falco can't shine immediately. It has to come in.
Right. And what about rising aerial from Falco? Can Falco rising aerial here?
I guess Falco could rising nair, but
is it going to hit though?
Actually no, because it's coming out on the way up, so now it wouldn't.
Yeah. So then this is like what is Falco? If we would use it, let's use our percent, like the percents method for a second, like the look at our percent and hypothesize. What does Falco want at 3? What are the things Falco?
Definitely shine.
Shine, and what are his ways of getting shine? He can raw shine, of course, but like what else? Like how does he set that up usually?
I guess like usually, well, I'm trying to think about like ways that the Falco will actually set it up rather than like being given it because I feel like a lot of the time it's just like a reversal or like a absorbing and then
what about down here?
Shining. Yeah.
Like, I feel like Dare is the obvious one. It's just like, he'll jump up, he'll fall down with Dare. Like, this is kind of like the classic thing. And like, but you can see that like at this kind of distance, because remember, Fox is going to stand up a little bit at the end, right? So he's not, his leg is not going to be this exposed. At the end of when all is said and done, Fox is going to be something like this. He's going to be like a block like this, roughly, at the end. So it's really like this space to here that's like preventing. This is preventing rising aerial, which means that Dare is like much like rising aerial or like peak height aerial. Like Falco has to actually be descending for this thing, and then
that's true. Yeah.
So this is why. Can you see now why the anti-air up tilt works here?
Yeah. Basically any like. I mean, yeah, the Falco it definitely wants to go for drill, I feel like, so this is like the perfect spacing.
Yeah. In fact, that's like exactly what happens.
Yeah.
So like I would say, and like look at, and what I want to point out here is like look at how often he creates this spacing in different ways. Because he's done it again.
He's like right outside the range, yeah.
And the nice thing here is, like, it actually, like, creates, like, a very annoying system for Magi to deal with. Now, Magi does a good job of dealing with it, but, like, you see how it kind of, like, pushes him. It pushes it pushes Falco to try to, like, pressure the, like, Falco needs to find a counter hit somehow. But if he leans too far into, like, where Fox's zone, then all of a sudden he's playing with, like, Fox's shine out of shield and such. So he has to be very careful about how he's setting all this up. Now, granted, Magi being, like, the incredible player that she is, just is like, you know what? I'm so good. I'm just gonna I'm gonna get my reversal and murder you. Like, the instant you get tagged, you're gonna die. And, like, Aklo does kind of...
tag, yeah.
Yep. Boom, boom. Grabs the edge, deny the illusion. Boom. Classic. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous play. But that was good by Aklo to, like, but, like, Aklo forced her to, like, work to get that opening. Like, he eventually kind of, like, donated it by dash attacking, but, like, everything leading up to that dash attack was, like, really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, so it really looks like that, like, small spacing is, like, kind of like the sweet spot in a way, because, like, Falco can't immediately attack it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, the obvious way that the Falco wants to attack it, you have up tilt to wall with.
Yeah. In a way, these two really try... Like, I know that you've probably heard this from Mango, but, like, if you've ever watched his stream, but in a way, these two kind of want the other to be the one approaching.
Yeah, I have both heard that, and I also, like, definitely very much feel it.
Yeah, well, this is why. Because, like, they both have a walling position that's, like, really dominant for them. Fox's is, like, harder to achieve because it's closer, but, like, he's also got the speed and mobility to be able to do that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, yeah. It's definitely why I also, like, whenever I play, like, Falcos with, like, strong tech skill who, like, approach, I still, like, feel like I can compete in that. Versus, like, when they have strong tech skill and don't really approach that much, then I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm kind of lost.
I honestly kind of get why Mango... Like, I don't agree with it, but I totally see why Mango, like, thinks that this matchup is, like, Fox favored. Like, I personally think he's insane, but, like, I think I kind of understand where he's coming from in the sense that, like, Fox, when he gets his, like, wall position established, is much more powerful than Falco is. I feel like Falco's ease of accessing his powerful walling positions and his powerful, like, keep-out positions is, like... I feel like the way Mango's probably looking at it, and maybe he's wrong. And you know what, Mango, if you happen to be watching this, feel free to correct me. But, like, I feel like the impression I get is Falco has an easier position to establish. Like, significantly easier position to establish. But he doesn't really, like, turn... It's not obvious how he turns that into, like, a hit. Whereas Fox, once he establishes his position, he has a lot of avenues to doing it. So it's kind of like Falco, like, gets into, like, a pretty strong neutral position, but Fox creates, like, a better advantage state faster. So it's kind of like... I guess it depends on, like, what your value... It's, like, a value-based thing. It's a value question, like... Do you value, like, having this, like, sort of, like, mild disadvantage, but then eventually, like, but it's, like, not, you can't, like, do as much with it? Or do you have this, like, harder to achieve position that's, like, more powerful, but like, you know, it is harder to achieve. And like I could see how he, as like one of the most, especially as one of the most aggressive players of all time, probably values like the, once I get my thing, I want to be able to do something with it, damn it.
Yeah.
Like because like this is like the spot you're talking about, right? Like where you're kind of like, God,
Yes.
what do I do? What the hell do I do?
Yes, yeah. Then I always feel like, I mean, there's obviously like the answer of like just play a different position. Like I don't have to be right here, but like also I always like think to myself like, how do I want to hit them? And if I miss, then it's just like lights out sort of.
Yeah, so you know what? I think this means this is like a situation where we need to be willing to just drop this. Like
Yeah.
I think that when we get into this spot, I think the biggest thing for you, from the sounds of it, is we need to be willing to just recognize that this isn't actually a wand position at all. It's not even one that's necessarily worth playing. Like, let's look at all, like let's think about this. So who, like, Falco is clear, like this is in my opinion kind of like the definition of the Falco is at advantage but doesn't have as much like to do with the spot as Fox does when Fox is at advantage. This is kind of like the quintessential like Falco side of it, because Falco has established control of the map with his position. He's got his like dash dance going on like over here. On top of that, what she's doing really well is she's like positioning, she's like kind of like teasing his range. So it's not that she's just like dash dancing here. She's also willing to come forward as far as like this, but still outside of Fox's range. So she's controlling like this whole bubble, and therefore like this space around Fox pretty effective, like this space in front of Fox pretty effectively.
Yeah, and then obviously like side plat is like a bit of a shield on top, and yeah,
well,
I feel like
not even that.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, how do you get there, right? Like, you'd have to jump,
Yeah.
double jump. Like, you'd have to do a lot of work here. Aklo is really restricted. Like, his short hop goes, like, something like this, something like this kind of range. His full hop doesn't really go that much. Like, his full hop goes, like, maybe to here. He has his double jump in various directions, sure, but, like, again, all of these kind of, like, fan out away from Magi, which is not really what you want here. There's no, like, wave dashing forward is, like, super dangerous. I feel like this is the type of spot that really tests the discipline of a Fox player, because you just have to be willing to let this one go. This is not that good. We cannot be forcing hits here.
Yeah, I think like my brain sees this as like, oh, they're in the corner, they're scared, but like I know that's not really true. Like I know that if I try and bite and I miss, I have like such bad, like the risk reward is so bad for me, because it's not super likely that I'm going to be able to like hit them with anything. And okay, there we go.
So like no, we'll formalize this. So like the corner doesn't matter. So what is like, so let's figure out why. So platform shields, platform protects from full hop.
Yeah.
Protects full hops. The ledge, I'd say ledge prevents shines.
Yeah, even shine doesn't feel that good because of that.
Yeah. So ledge nerfs shine. And then like what's left here? We're gonna really like we're gonna say that like without our full hop, if we just charge in at Falco, like we're happy. I don't think so. I feel like in order for, so I think the big thing here is we have to think about what are the good things to pressure Falco with when we have him in the corner. I feel like the big answer is back air, right?
Yeah.
So like the question here is, how do we access our back air from this position? Like what are, like not, and I don't mean that as like a we can't do it. I mean as a what steps would we need to take from here to access our back air?
I mean, I guess when Falco's like on the way back, you have to just drop shield and turn, basically.
Doesn't that take like a year to do? It
takes like 13 or 14 frames or something like that, yeah.
We have to take, so we're saying that we have to like basically wave dash down in place and then turn, and then like this is our plan. I'm not sure I love that. Like, I have
I don't really like
concerns.
that either.
Here's a question. What if we full hop to top platform? Like, what if we just head up to top platform?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. So maybe,
And then you
like,
could just establish the same position by like turn, or you can just play a different stage position.
now we're cooking. Now we have something going on in our life with this in this particular match. Like, this sounds so much better than just sitting duck, like being a sitting duck and dying. So like, let's actually map out those steps here. So like, we're gonna be here. We're gonna be Fox, because we're winning. Damn it. But or at least, well, we have challenges in this matchup. But like, okay. So I think that the big thing here is like if Falco's in the corner, like if we are operating under the premise that Falco cornered, we want bear. Cornered. Bear. Bear. So like, what do we? So like, what would step one be of our process be? We like leave shield. We head up to top platform.
Yeah, full up or a double jump to top platform.
Yeah, full hop, double jump to top platform. And like the cool thing here, like, and then by going to top platform, we then have the ability, because I think we see Cody do this motion a lot too in his matches. Because like once we're up here, then he usually kind of like turns his back and kind of has the ability to come down at this angle, doesn't he?
Like wave landing down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this looks very Cody-esque.
Yeah.
So then it would be like turn, and then like wave dash / waveland there. And like this makes a ton of sense. The cool thing here is there's natural mix-ups as well with like just landing on the other platform, on some platform.
Yeah.
Because you can also head there and set up shop there, which is quite strong.
I feel like these are movements that I do when the Falco is not in this situation is when I make these movements, and like I'll consciously think about you know, mixing up my movements to see if I can try and bait out their walling moves or something like that, and then I can come down with like a bear when I feel like I get a read on their timing. I don't do it enough when they're cornered like that, but like because I think they're cornered, but in reality I'm not really in a good position either. So this makes like a lot of sense to me. I feel like I just need to be more conscious of like I'm not really in a winning spot here.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
We just have to be, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Like, we have to be cognizant of the fact that just because we have Falco in the corner does not mean that he is, like, Falco in the corner being incapable of, like, Falco being incapable of working his way out of the corner is such a 2020 idea. Like, we live in a world where, like, they all ledge snap, they all ledge dash. Like, God, even I learned how to ledge dash the other day. And it's like, if somebody like 8,000 years old like me will learn how to do it, then I think we have to be open to the possibility that, you know, this is just kind of a thing that we have to deal with. Like, it's not like we look at that situation in like Fox versus if we were fighting a Fox that was dash dancing at that range, we would not look at that as like, oh, he's in the corner, now it's time to attack. We wouldn't do it with Sheik either, or Captain Falcon. We'd be like, oh God, or Marth. Yeah, it's like, oh God, we're in Shield, and they're like dash dancing there. Oh no! Like, what do we do?
That's a good point.
Yeah. Like, I know that Falco's slow, but like nobody is that slow. Nobody is so like no top tier is so like even Jigglypuff. Like no top tier is so slow that we can just be like. -13 to approach him, that's fine. That's fine. Like, don't worry about it.
Okay, that's very fair.
Yeah.
Classic CC shine on the there.
Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, like, it's Aklo, right? Like, I really like how he's just chilling.
Yeah, I think sometimes I am just like too caught up in thinking, I guess. So like just taking a second to chill does seem very helpful.
Agreed. I like how he's just like vibing, kind of. I like that how he's like, I don't know if I can really approach you over there. I'm just gonna chill. These dash attacks are terrible. I don't know what he's.
Yeah, they are.
These are like everything about his gameplay is so good except for the dash attack. I swear.
I wonder if it's like a short hop nair flub, but I don't know. I feel like they don't flub that much at this level, so maybe not.
I mean, I could believe it. As far as flubs go, I think that one's a pretty reasonable one.
He's really just waiting.
Yeah, but it kind of does, like, the thing that people forget is that, like, Falco, if he doesn't have his laser protecting him, is like, if he doesn't have the laser like isolating his movement, he is ultimately a pretty slow character at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, look at him. He's just like chilling. He's just moving around.
I always think I'll get like comboed by a Falcon. I'll be like, I really want to play this character, and then I start trying in practice mode. I'm like, wow, he's slow.
No, he is slow. It's like he's so slow. He's like traveling through molasses. And then he gets into the air, and then he's like graceful and like powerful and quick for like 10 seconds. But
I feel like Aklo's like lulling her to sleep almost.
Kind of.
Ooh.
I heard an ooh. So what was it? What was about that?
I thought he looked like he was trying to go for like the fair up smash, but I guess it didn't work.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if it actually kills her at this Actually, 104. Yeah, no, that
I think it would.
Kill.
Up smash is up smash 18?
So it's 17 or 18, something like that.
Actually, maybe with good DI it wouldn't.
I mean, good DI is like she flies off the stage. I don't think that's like really the end of the world.
That's true.
Oh my god, he just did it. Like, what a mad lad.
Oh, can I ask about one thing I have a question about is I get these sometimes. I know that there's like ways to cancel like dare stun. So I know like you can edge cancel it, for example.
Ooh.
But what is like land canceling, I guess?
Ooh, so with down airs. So,
yes.
You've asked like a very, very deep question. It is and I don't have an exact scientific answer to this, but from a lot of testing, what I can say is, I think it has to do with the height. So as an example, you see how I'm hitting him like pretty high up here. So let's actually turn him off for a second. Jump neutral, no, none. Thank you. So let's actually increase his percent a bit. 10% is good. So you'll see that looks like it links pretty cleanly, right?
Yes, yeah, that one does.
But hold on, like this one does not.
Yeah, he's getting the spot dodge out.
So I think it has to do with like how much of like I think that it has to do with how long his animation, like his getting hit animation runs, sort of. So like let's do smash DI up. Let's do 2 frames. So like you can see here, I'm like waiting a certain amount of time, and it's always kind of going through. But like now if I go down, see what I mean?
Oh, so like if the animation is still going on when he hits the ground, maybe?
Yeah, so like I think it has to do with like, so here we'll do this like this. So you see how he hasn't started like leaning back yet.
Yeah.
I think he has to. I think Fox has to lean back. Or begin leaning back. Like, I think he has to get to a certain part of his, like, getting hit animation.
I see. Okay. So, it's kind of just something that I can, like... It's not really something I super duper control, but if I'm, like, cognizant of it, I can maybe get a reversal.
I would say smash DIing down. Smash DIing down on down airs is usually a good practice because of this.
Okay.
Because you're, like, really just, like, affecting, like, the travel time, right?
Yeah. And then I can kind of just mash B and try and get a shine out.
Yeah, like that. But I think it has to do with, like, how high you're hit. See what I mean? Because, like, if I do it, like, because he's obviously still in stun. Like, in fact, we can actually prove that. Like, he still has, like, a solid, like, 14 frames left on him when I'm hitting him. But, like, you see, when I'm hitting him in, like, when there's, like, 5 or so left, like, it's not connecting properly to the next move.
Yeah. Yeah, it immediately becomes 0, too.
Yeah. So I think it's just like, proximity to the ground. Now, there's ways to, like, I think that you can kind of work around this with weak hits, but, like, it is really hard to get those on Fox. So, like, I would not worry about those, but I would say it's just the height.
Okay, that's good to know. I like didn't know the rhyme or reason behind them, but I would like sometimes get them and be able to like turn the situation around. So it's good to know that there's like, I do have like some level of control, I guess, especially at like lower percents.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I would, yeah, like that's, I think the real secret to like smash DIing those moves is just that like, it's like you just want it, like you're trying to reduce the amount of time you're trying to reduce the amount of time that your character is spending in the air before landing, so that as little of that can happen. In fact, I'm pretty sure we just saw like Aklo smash DI down, probably for that reason, but Magi hits him pretty high in the air to counter it. So yeah. Oh, I think he actually got Forbidden Smash DI'd. That's funny.
Was that down left?
So, like, here. So, what you'll notice, so watch, like, how his body, like, twitches when he's getting hit. Okay, so he gets hit. His body, like, goes down. But then it resets its position. Because I think...
Oh, yeah.
Because what that means is, he Smash DI'd into the ground, and he was going to make contact with the ground, but he's not allowed to do that as per the rules of Smash DI. So this would be what we call Forbidden Smash DI. Forbidden Smash DI is basically the rule that says that if there's no vertical knockback on a move, you cannot use it to Smash DI into the air from the ground, nor can you use it to Smash DI into the ground from the air if they're, like, either. Like, you cannot use the Smash DI to, like, change your character's state if there's no, like, from the air to the ground or to the ground to the air if there isn't the requisite. In the case of ground to the air, there can't be the type of knockback required for that transition. So, like, there has to be, like, the type of knockback that you would need to do that. Like, in other words, if you, like, shine someone with Fox, you can't go into the air because there's no vertical knockback.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And with ground to the air, yeah. And ground to the air is just like, I think it just doesn't allow you to like cling to the ground. Like it just doesn't allow you to snap, period.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Can you imagine like if it did? Like you're just getting like kneed by Wizrobe and then you just like warp into the ground like tech roll. Like it
yeah, that explains a lot. I guess it's like a rule that intuitively makes sense, but I never knew like the formalities of.
Yeah. Something I want to point out here that Aklo's doing a really good job of. Look at how he's like keeping his back to her.
Yeah.
With his movements.
I was just thinking that. So like, every time he gets hit by a shield, he just resets and turns around.
Yeah.
Shield stop, turn around. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think this is something worth flagging?
Yeah, I don't do this. This is definitely something that I should keep in mind, especially because I do like being able to wall. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense, I think.
Yeah. So how did we get into this mess? How did we arrive here? I feel like it doesn't even matter really. It's in this particular diagram, because I think we can kind of like summarize it as it's like, yeah, so let's see here.
Roll away.
Yeah, so dash, so it's like so this would be like dash oh wait, why am I yellow? It needs to be red. So it's like dash, turn, shield. And then wave dash, oos. No, wave dash, oos at opponent. And then like dash, turn, shield. Yeah, because it's like it keeps you aligned. You could also like dash, turn, shield, or dash away, shield.
Yeah, but so just space it however feels or makes sense.
Yeah, because like again, we're still trying to achieve that back air position. We're still trying to have this at the end of the day. But like,
yeah,
right? Because we want good spacing.
Yeah, this is something that I think is probably going to be pretty helpful, because I think I do end up in a situation where I'm not resetting my position to like be able to wall.
How did she? Oh my god, she just ran off and died.
She
just ran off and died. No.
Somebody won our local yesterday off of a. Here, I'll send you a clip.
Oh my god, let's go.
Let's see. Copy link. Here.
Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna take it
for the Filipinos. Are you the Filipinos?
No, you Marth, no.
It was 2-2.
I know. I saw the score. I was like, no, you Marth. You were the chosen one. You were supposed to beat Arius and like claim blue Marth. I feel like the red Marths always go so hard in the Marth Ditto. I don't know why, but they just do. Like, because Rishi and Zane, like, they're both, I think they've both played red, and they're both, like, crazy at it, and then you've got, like, I don't know, like, Ossify, I think, has Ossify played red?
Ossify's red, yeah.
Yeah, like, what is up with that? Like, I feel like Kadoran's, like, the one, like, Kadoran's the only one of them I would not consider, like, crazy at the Marth Ditto. And granted, he's crazy at a lot of other things, but, like, it's just, like, what is with red Marths in that matchup? Know what it is? The red is the blood of all the Marths they've beaten. It's just...
Yeah, they're covered in the blood, yeah.
Yeah.
Aklo's doing the shield stop turn in the corner. Yeah, I never noticed this, I think.
And you see how he like wave dashes off to like, I feel like Fox's back air, I don't want to say that like it is the only important move with him, but I would say it is the most important move with him. Like, if you're good at Fox's back air, man, like,
I do, when I play certain characters, I do just literally spam back air for like 10 minutes straight. Like, it definitely, I feel like you can get a lot with it.
Yeah, and like I don't want to make it seem like it's the only move that matters. Like his up tilt's really important. His drill is really, really skill intensive. His shine and nair are both like really critical parts. Same with his up throw and up smash. But like, my god, can you do so much with his back air? And I feel like this is the type of matchup. Like I feel like the more that the slower the opponent is, and like the more susceptible they are to just being like bullied by like that giant, by like his wall's sheer efficiency. Like the more you kind of want to do it. And, like, the Falco definitely, like, fits that bill to some degree.
He even set up a little bit earlier when he was getting onto the plat right above. I think he, like, I think it's right here, yeah. He's going to get back on the plat.
Yeah, like, that was really, I liked that. It's really just he's just like very slightly off with some of these like follow-ups, and then Magi's like murdering him for it, which is her
that's classic. I feel like
it's her God-given right as a Falco to like murder. As a character to like murder Fox when he's like slightly off on a follow-up. I will say that my god are her lasers like these ones here, the ones around the power shield are so good. Like the one where she like jumped, where she set up an approaching laser to fall, like approaching laser.
High laser.
Yeah, like that was amazing. I don't know. It's just great play. I love her. I love her. I think that her slow fall lasers are the best. Like the way that she uses slow fall laser, to kind of like create, to like have like, to like kind of make it ambiguous whether she's bearing or like something else. Is really, really, really impressive. And it kind of like gives her like, and like it, I feel like those delay fast fall lasers, like that one that she just did, like this is such like, this is so money. And like this is, I think, one of the big reasons that she's so good with the character, because like from that position, like she's then able to like she's able to outposition like Fox's, like Aklo's running shine with that back air, and then score all of this. So I would say that like, and granted, not to backseat Aklo, of course, but like one thing I would comment on is I don't know how vulnerable Falco is after these two lasers. Like I understand.
This is not like running shine range, basically.
Yeah, like, well, she's kind of like given him running shine range and then like backed out of it. So to me, this is like, this feels very much like a trap. So I would say that like when Falco does these two lasers at a distance, I don't know what the right play is, but like I just feel like in this kind of spot, it's probably better to like run, to like stop here and like chill in this area. Or go on the platform potentially. Because I feel like, you know what I mean? Like it's just we're trying to bulldoze into him, and like, but like everything about what she's done is just screaming, "I'm a fortress." Like you have nothing. Like she's just screaming. Like everything about her play screams, "You have nothing. You have absolutely nothing to work with." It looks like it, but you don't. I'm a wall. I'm the great wall of like me. Like
that's one theme I'm getting is sometimes it looks like you have something, but you don't actually.
Yeah, like look at this offense from her, right? Like where's the opening?
Yeah,
it's kind of like when she's done, right? Like it's not really like during, like trying to find the opening in between all this looks impossible.
Yeah, literally everything was. Even if Aklo got a hit here, he's probably getting CC'd and shined.
Yeah. It's like it's after she's done that Aklo is able to take his turn. So I think that sometimes like a big thing about this matchup is you sometimes just have to let Falco finish up his turn and then like figure it out after. Let him flail a little bit. Like the other thing I would comment on though is like this is kind of the beauty of the character. Like so she does all this crazy shit like here. This is really good like a pressure. But like the instant that Aklo gets by her, she leaves herself open. So there is kind of like, you kind of want him to lean, you kind of want him to, like, remember, he is still slow. It is hard for him to be as loose as you are. So, play off that. Like, we don't want to confront him directly. We want to confront him indirectly where possible. That
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's like, know what it is? It's like fighting Peach. It is like fighting Peach though, like, you know what I mean? Because it's
an
just
immovable fortress that you're trying to get around, and then and you're not trying to fight directly. Yeah. Fast falling Peach.
Peach Peach with a gun. Neutral, like Peach with neutral. Yeah. So what did we learn today?
So I think a decent amount of things. First one is one of the first things we talked about was at least having like a plan in mind for how I want to deal with the lasers. So like go for the short hop and then delayed action out of, sorry, not short hop. Go for the shield and delayed action out of it if I want to have like a consistent thing that I can do against the laser. I think the next big thing was like establishing the back turn position and like all the ways I can do this. So like there's like the shield stops. I can go up to plats to reset and then come down with my back facing. Just basically establishing that position if I want to like be boxing with my bear basically, rather than like rather than getting stuck just facing the Falco all the time. I think also thinking about the corner position where I like kind of get baited into trying to bite on to Falco when it's not really a position where Falco is weak. So yeah, don't basically don't think that I've won when I'm in that position. It's not actually a winning spot for me. What are other things that we've talked about? Let's see.
Yeah, so I'm just writing these out so like, yeah, stance matters 1. Boxing is bear is often the strongest thing we can do. Stance matter 2. When Falco is cornered, if we're shielding, we're not really able to pressure, even if we have center stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Refer to diagram, and then I'll. The other thing I would say, stance matters 3. Bear spacing, like the landing.
Oh yeah.
The landing spacing
we can talk
for
about the landing space.
Is in a spot where he can't hit us with rising aerial or shine in place after we land.
Yeah, that's a big one. Actually, I that totally slipped my brain.
That's
and
okay.
yeah, I think also maybe my thinking here was a bit skewed because not the landing spacing, but with the corner. Like the big difference is when you're in shield, you don't have the frames to work with to actually make something out of the cornered Falco. So I think that I conflate these two things in my head, like being ready to go for the Falco and then being like in shield and thinking I'm in like a winning position, if that makes sense. When they
Shield
exactly
tax.
shield tax.
Yep. Okay, so let's see here. What's one more thing that we can look at here? So, turn wave dash. One thing I would say here is like platform camping. Platform camping. It's not. We can do a lot. We don't need to feel as forced. As forced to do things as we might think. Think. Aklo, like refer to Aklo's Aklo's example. He chills a lot. And it looks quite good. Like, granted, Magi wins this set, but like as we can see, like this is one of the best. This is probably the best Falco that isn't Mango versus Fox in the entire universe.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like this is a pretty good blueprint for like how you can play a more reserved game plan, because like it's hard to like. I feel like it's sometimes hard to point to like Cody and Moki and be like, just be like them at aggression. Like,
yeah, when they're like they have an insane tech skill to back it up, basically.
Well, not even insane tech skill, because I actually think Aklo is more technical than them in some ways, but it's more like their ability. It's more about their timing skills, like their ability to like find openings out of like thin air, out of like what looked like nothing. Like with Cody, it's more of like his defense. With Moki, it's his timing manipulation. But like they both kind of have those two attributes to a pretty high degree. Aklo, in a lot of ways, I think is a little bit more like, I don't want to say run of the mill because it makes it sound like bad, but like you know what I mean. Like he's not. There aren't as many like. There isn't as much like stylistic personality in his play.
Yes,
it's more like it is more textbook than those two in a lot of ways.
I feel like he's doing things that can be taken, I guess. Yeah, there's one thing I was gonna say and I just forgot it.
It'll come.
But yeah, I
don't worry
definitely
about
agree
it.
with that.
Don't worry about it. It'll come. It'll come in like 2 in the afternoon.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, there's a lot more that can be taken from his playstyle because, like, a lot of these decisions just kind of, like, intuitively make a lot more sense, I think, than what Cody and Moki do. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
And, like, you know what? Maybe that is what it... I consider this a Falco-favored matchup, so maybe that is what it takes to, like, win this matchup at this level. But I feel like I don't really hear of Aklo losing to Falcos very often. So I feel like if, you know what, maybe at this exact level, like Magi and up, maybe that's when you need to like the extra shit. But I feel like in general, like he's very successful at this one, and there's something to be said about like just good basics attached to like a good like shell.
Yeah.
And like Aklo, I think has that. I really like how I really like his general plan of this matchup. I think like what he's going for and how he like that maneuvering there to get out of the corner with that double jump, I think was like brilliant. I think that was so well done. Like, is it the most like fancy decision I've ever seen? No, definitely not. But like it worked, it was consistent, it looks replicable, and I think that's really what we need. Like yeah, and finds the jab up smash classic kill setup even on like fast fallers, like everything here just like seems good, and it's not like he didn't have the chance to win the match off that like shine in the corner, right?
Yeah.
So I think that you know what, I think we could all stand to be a little more like Aklo.
I feel like that was a pretty instructional set, to be honest.
It's a little different. Like, it's kind of cool watching somebody who isn't like the dominant like meta Fox playstyle against a character, and kind of seeing what you can take from it. I think there's value.
Yeah,
in that.
I feel like there's a lot of things that I want to go into game and try now.
Hell yeah! This is the goal. So I will let you go. So often to do that, we'll close the time here, and until next time.
Yeah.
Which will be next Friday, or like we'll figure that out. Just let me know what the next one is. Okay.
That's good.
All right. Later.